good expert on fixed income. Jack, what do you make of the Warsh pick, and what do you make of the market reaction?
So I think I'm actually happy. I'll reiterate what Bob was saying. I think the markets ultimately will like it. I think so. It's interesting that today's reaction. There's a lot of things going on right now. I mean, you look at the precious metals, the moves, the parabolic moves higher. Hey, we're just going through a major sort of correction in here. Markets don't go parabolic for extended periods. And when you get those kind of moves, they leak into the broader financial markets, equities in particular. A couple of things with Warsh's view of the Fed's balance sheet, that you don't use it all the time. It's supposed to be used really only during periods of extreme sort of emergency. So, the markets might be kind of backing off on that a little bit. But ultimately, I think it's a good call. And I agree with the idea that the Fed's going to remain very independent under his leadership. And I like the idea that, hey, he's not always dovish and he's not always hawkish. He's going to be pragmatic and he's going to be reform-oriented.
Oh, reform-oriented. Do you think that he will alter in any way the way the Federal Reserve allows big money center banks to park money for a good interest rate instead of loaning it out to its customers? I think that's been something that both President Trump and others have said, you know what, why are we giving this refuge to the big banks at this point? Any insight on what Kevin Warsh might do there?
Yeah, Liz, it's a good point because, since the GFC, we've been reliant on public balance sheets. And I think, it's going to take time, but my understanding is, Kevin Warsh wants to kind of move away from that. We want to use the private sector's balance sheets. We see it firsthand, that the balance sheets from major central banks, major money center banks, they're not going into the markets like they used to. So if we can shift in that direction, this takes us to the environment where we were before the Great Recession of '08. And I think that's a more normalized policy, and ultimately longer term will be positive. Part of the reform I was talking about is the idea that I think he has an understanding of what truly the Fed's role is and the limitations of monetary policy. He's not going to push the Fed towards climate change, DEI, things of that ilk. It's going to be really what is the mandate of the impact on the labor market, on inflation, and the other stuff is going to fall by the wayside.
Well, the greenback is reversing. It is moving higher against major currencies. We just showed that, so it'll be very interesting to watch. But I think that there's a collective sort of sigh of relief for people who are very intuitive about the markets with this Kevin Warsh announcement, even though the stock market is down. Good to see you, Jack. Thank you.
Okay. Take care.